Welcome to Well-Purposed Women. Today we're going to be making these cozy heart pillows for Valentine's Day. If it's your first time being here, make sure to hit the red subscribe button so we can keep in touch. Let's get started. Here's the supplies you're going to need for today's craft. They're also located down below in the comments, along with the link to the free heart pillow pattern. You're going to print it out on 8.5 by 11 paper. It's going to be on 4 different sheets. You're going to tape those sheets together to create a heart like this. You're going to cut it out and then use that as your pattern. So I've cut out my heart pattern onto this gray cardstock scrapbook paper, and I like doing it on cardstock. It's a little bit more sturdy when I'm doing it multiple times, and I'm going to use that as the pattern for my heart pillow. So lay out your cozy fabric on your cutting mat, and then I'm just going to take my sewing pins and pin down the pattern on top of the fabric. This really soft fabric has a tendency to move around a little bit more than other fabrics, so I'm going to pin it on all sides of the heart, and then I'm just going to take my rotary cutter and scissors and then cut around the heart shape, and I'm going to do that 2 times for a front and back. Now, as I mentioned, I'm just going to repeat that one more time for the back of my heart. And you could play around with your fabric if you wanted to do 2 different types of fabric. That would be neat as well, especially if you're doing something that's more Valentine's themed. That would be kind of cool. But I'm going to make this soft pillow today for my daughter. So I'm using this same really cozy fabric that she loves. And then just doing 2 hearts with the same fabric. But again, you could alternate the fabrics and do a coordinating one on the back if you prefer that. This soft fabric sheds really easily here, so I'm just going to quickly pick up my space here with my little vacuum, and then we're going to move on to the next step, which is going to be to pin our different pieces together. So hopefully your 2 hearts are pretty similar in size. Mine were off slightly, and I'm not exactly sure why, but it might have shifted a little bit while I was cutting it. And you could definitely use a couple more pins to avoid that from happening. But just put the 2 hearts together, right sides together, and then we're going to pin all around. And then we're going to take the hearts over to the sewing machine and we're going to sew them together. Don't forget to leave a couple inches towards the bottom of your heart so that we can turn this pillow right side out. We're just going to take our heart over to our machine. We're going to start on the bottom point of the heart and we're going to sew up around the 2 sides of the heart. And just remember to leave that 2-inch opening towards the bottom of the heart on the right side, because that's how we're going to flip the heart inside out and then we're going to add the filling. So I'm just going to quickly sew this. I didn't get a good video of me doing that, but I hope that you're familiar with how to do that. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Otherwise, the next step then is to turn our heart right sides out. So after you've sewn around the heart, we're going to turn it right side out. Okay, now that your heart pillow is turned right side out, we're going to use that open 2 inches on the bottom to fill it. This pillow, I actually did weight it with some rice. I wanted it to be for my daughter to hug and just have a little extra comfort. So I put quite a bit of rice in here to fill it. If you are going to use weight in your pillow, just make sure you're making it the correct weight for your child. This pillow was pretty small, so I wasn't too worried about it, but you wouldn't want it to be too heavy on them. So if you're using the rice or the beans, just make sure you have the right weight when you're giving it to your child. And then after I added rice, then I just finished it off by stuffing it with polyfill for the rest. And if you're not using weight at all in the pillow, then just go ahead and stuff the pillow with the polyfill. And then once we have it filled, we're just going to close it up. Now the last step is to close up our heart. So I'm going to take the heart over to the machine. You can see kind of the bottom 2 inches of the right side of the heart are still open. So I folded in the sides of the pillow, and then I'm just going to run a seam down that opening and just close it up. So it is a top stitch. I'm just going right on top of the pillow and just closing out that little seam there. You could definitely do this with a needle and embroidery thread or just thread, but I wanted to just do it with the machine to give it a try. It is a little tricky with the rice and the polyfill kind of peeking out sometimes, but as best you can, just sew up those last 2 inches so that we can close up the pillow. But that's really all there is to making these cozy heart pillows. You could make them for Valentine's Day. You could make them when you're going away on a long trip. You could make them when your child's going to camp for the summer. You could use them with a loved one who's passed away. You could use their sweatshirts or sweaters to make these cozy pillows and have it be like a keepsake. So there's lots of options, but I hope you enjoyed doing this video with me today. Let me know down below what you're working on and if you have any questions. But that's all there is to making these cute pillows for Valentine's Day. Remember to hit that red subscribe button if you enjoyed it so that you can watch future videos. And just thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful Valentine's Day.